My dear friends, in the current situation that we are facing in Sri Lanka, we need to always be careful to understand and to know the realities. The realities. Very unfortunately, when our country was going down the hill economically, our rulers have kept us in the dark. Our rulers tried to paint a picture that everything is fine and everything is moving forward, whereas the reality was that the country was collapsing economically. Now this is sad because it is the right of every human being living in a country to know exactly what is happening in the country. Now my friends, in knowing the reality, in understanding how economically we are now going down the hill, we must also remember that is not all that we need to know. We also must learn to look beyond that point, because we become despondent. We can get depressed. Just look around. Today, we are facing the reality about fuel. We were painted a nice picture that ships are coming and fuel will be available. But now we find that we don't have the dollars to pay for the fuel. And so in the coming days, we don't know what is going to happen. Now in a situation like that, we must be wise enough to take the necessary steps so that we would not lead ourselves to depression or to come to a point of no return. My friends, we must learn to look beyond that point of despondency. We must learn to focus not on the reality that makes us feel depressed, but focus on the living God who can lift us up beyond the point of depression and disappointment. Certainly, in the Holy Scriptures, the psalmist says, I lift up my eyes unto the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. Never forget that. We are going through bad times. We are very uncertain about our future. And that's the reality. Don't let any politician come and camouflage things for you or try to paint a beautiful picture for you. No. Let us all acknowledge that we are experiencing one of the worst times in the history of our country. But let not that be the focus. That's only what you get to know. Your focus is on the living God, the maker of heaven and earth. And He has undertaken to help us out of this situation. Yes, there are certain moments where we find that everything is crumbling down, everything is crashing. That's the reality. But even in that moment, there is the living God who can help us to go through and look beyond. Yes, looking around, we feel how restless people are. Looking around, we discover how people are losing their patience. That's the reality. And we too are facing it. But look unto God, who is able to lift us up. Look unto God, who is able to give us the light in this time of darkness. And may that faith in God help you to take another step forward. You may not see the whole foot pathway, but take the next step forward and discover the faithfulness of God in whom you can trust. So, in this moment of despair, in this moment of disappointment and depression, let us not focus on that, but focus on the God who can lift us up and lead us beyond this point of disappointment. May God bless you and help you to go through these difficult times. Amen.